Yeah, they be like, who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. The murder of Tupac and the murder of Biggie Smalls has been, I swear, my whole life it's been a conversation. Oh sheesh! How old was I? Like 7, 8? Oh, I'm not even 100% sure off the top of my head, but nevertheless, as I stated in my last video update in regards to Keefe D, you really can't talk about one murder without talking about the other, to me anyway. So I'm going to be reacting to some updates that has taken place. Shout out Law and Crime Network. I'm going to react to that, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on my whole thought process with it by showing some paperwork that some of you may not have seen, some of you may have seen it. But yeah, we're going to get into all that. Let's take a look and listen to what Law and Crime points out.
You know Tupac and Shakur was in the black BMW.
He was hanging out the window.
Tupac?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He had half his body out the window. Yeah. Just, that Bay Area.
Dwayne Keefe D. Davis's own words, eyewitnesses and a gang expert led a grand jury to indict Keefe D. for Tupac Shakur's murder after 27 years. We have testimony from witnesses who told the story of what happened that night. Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Anjanette Levy. We are learning more details about what witnesses told a grand jury in Las Vegas as they met to investigate the murder of Tupac Shakur. That grand jury met 4 times between July and August. A number of people testified about Keefe D's involvement in Tupac Shakur's murder. Others testified about what they saw that night or heard about what happened from those who were involved. Tupac Shakur was shot on September 7th, 1996 in Las Vegas. He died 6 days later on September 13th. Tupac and Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight went to the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand with other people. Surveillance cameras recorded them at the casino. Then they encountered Orlando Anderson, a member of the Southside Compton Crips. Tupac, Suge Knight, and others jumped Anderson. Why? A grand jury witness, Devonta Lee, said it was payback for Anderson and other members of the Southside Compton Crips beating up members of the Mob Piru Bloods in California earlier that month and stealing a Death Row Records chain from this man, Trayvon Lane. Lane was a Blood and a friend of Suge Knight. Lee said Suge Knight gave those chains to people and that taking that chain was, quote, like taking the crown. The grand jury watched an interview of Keefe D with The Art of Dialogue, where Keefe D said he knew about that incident involving the chain.
That was a chain. I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't put that on my neck.
So how you know the change was cheap?
Because I seen it.
How you seen it?
The homies had it. They came back from the mall.
Surveillance video shows Orlando Anderson at the MGM Grand. Another witness testified that Anderson wanted to fight Tupac Shakur, but a more sinister plot to shoot Tupac Shakur or Suge Knight unfolded. The man who took this photo told the grand jurors he snapped it with a camera in his car as he was picking up food. It's the last photo of Tupac Shakur before the shooting. Moments later, shots were fired from a white Cadillac. In that Cadillac, driver Terrence Brown and backseat passengers DeAndre Big Dre Smith and Orlando Anderson. Keefe D was in the front seat. A witness testified Keefe D was a South Compton Crips original gangster, or OG, a shot caller, who dealt drugs and had a lot of money. Keefe D recalled the shooting.
Orlando is the shooter. He's the known shooter. I mean, everybody know Orlando Anderson was a shooter. So Drake got cold feet. He didn't want to do it. He gave the gun to Orlando, and Orlando shot Tupac and Suge.
Yeah, he did his thing, yeah. Suge just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, then the next one hit him. It was like he was doing a break dance trying to jump in the back seat or something. Yeah. Like, damn. Yeah, what the? It looked like he was trying to jump in the, but it was, the bullets was in his.
But DeAndre Smith's former roommate told the grand jury it was actually Smith who confessed to shooting Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. The roommate said Smith told him that Orlando Anderson simply couldn't reach across him to take the shot. A rapper in Tupac and Suge's caravan told the grand jury he found Tupac in the passenger seat of the BMW. He said Tupac told him, "Get on the ground. They're going to shoot you." The rapper said Tupac was referring to police who had arrived on the scene. Crime scene photos from that night show the damage. Bullet holes riddled the passenger side of the BMW, blood spattered on the car seats, 40 caliber shell casings in the vehicle and in the street. One round shattered a windshield. In the days that followed, a number of shootings erupted in Compton, California in retaliation for the shooting of Tupac Shakur. Relationship between the Southside Compton Crips and Bad Boy Records, and that Bad Boy Records feared Suge Knight. Death Row was associated with the Bloods. Another Bad Boy Records connection, a witness testified that Eric Zip Martin gave Keefe D the gun the night that Tupac was shot. Zip knew Sean Puffy Combs. Suge Knight's former head of security, Reggie Wright, testified that Suge Knight and Sean Puffy Combs were once on good terms, but things changed in 1995. Wright said Suge Knight believed that Combs was responsible for the death of one of his friends. He then told the grand jury about how Tupac Shakur talked about having sex with the Notorious B.I.G.'s wife in a song and rapped about killing members of Bad Boy Records. Wright said the feud escalated, with a member of Bad Boy Records pointing a gun at Tupac Shakur at an awards show months before that shooting in Las Vegas. Wright said Keefe D was at that award show with members of Bad Boy Records. That, coupled with the theft of the Death Row chain and then the MGM Grand fight, caused things to come to a head that night in September of 1996 in Las Vegas. Prosecutors say it ended with the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Oh, that was a lot going on in that breakdown by Law and Crime. What I would say is this. It kind of had me scratching my head. And I want y'all to tell me in the comments what y'all think. Because long time it has been said that Tupac was killed for initiating a fight with Orlando Anderson after the boxing match, right? However, all these tie-ins to Zip and Bad Boy makes you think, well, did the fight really have anything to do with it? Was it already pre-planned? Or after the fight, when everybody was made aware that it was a fight and Orlando Anderson got jumped, was it determined then to murder Tupac and that's when the gun was provided? Interesting enough. Y'all let me know what y'all think, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I've been over here scratching my head listening to it, okay? Now, again, y'all know for months I have been working on content on Biggie Smalls' death, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it. Just know it's on the way. But again, you can't, in my opinion, talk about one death without talking about the other, because for so long they definitely have assumed or alluded that they are tied together. Now, a person who they have redacted out provided an interview that was tape recorded, okay? And it states the following. It says that redacted, at the time of Wallace's murder, which occurred a few months ago, redacted did not know the location of the murder, LA only, the vehicle used by the suspect, if any, or the caliber of weapon. He stated that he received his information via conversation with various people, redacted, has never direct contact with or received direct information from the suspect. Okay. Redacted stated his sources described the victim as riding in a truck type vehicle at the time of the incident. Wallace was attending an after party. Wallace was shot by a possible machine gun, unknown caliber. The murder was a contract killing orchestrated by a lone gunman. Possible witnesses who attended the party prior to the shooting included redacted, individuals who frequent Looters Park. Redacted also stated that 2 Compton police officers were also present. Redacted seemed uncertain if redacted. Redacted stated he heard 2 versions regarding the motive for the murder. The first motive was attributed to a contract killing, redacted. The second involved the killing of rapper Tupac Shakur, payback. Suspect description. Redacted, Middle East sounding name, Possible true name of redacted, a similar sounding name. The suspect is an ex-gang member, Southside Crip, who currently is a member of Fruits of Islam. The shooter is identified as redacted as a contract killer. He frequents the areas of Rosecrans and Wilmington, 83rd Street, and Compton and Greenleaf and Matheson. He resides in an area of redacted. He associates with redacted. Okay, now that's a lot of redacted. Okay, however, let's talk about it. With that being said, again, they are alluding and alleging, and Keefe D even said to himself that he was a part of the shooting, but allegedly, right, that the South Side Compton Crips were the ones to do the murder of Tupac. Witnesses are also alluding that the bow tie guy, for those who know the story already of the Biggie Smalls case, is an ex Southside Crip who is now part of the Fruits of Islam. Common denominator is Southside Crips. Now, why is that is the question, right? Really, what was really going on with it? Now, another theory to this is the person who they actually identified in the Biggie murder, which I'm going to wait until that video to go into that. But they actually have identified the person allegedly responsible at one point or another. Just didn't have the evidence to prosecute. However, they allude that he was hired or he was connected to a police officer that would later rob a bank and go to prison. But that was a member of the Blood Gang. So, does the association with Southside Crip in the Biggie Smalls case really mean anything in relation to the Tupac case? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But what I can say is this. It kind of makes you think. If we go down the narrative that the fight that night with Orlando Anderson was a big turning point in the storyline, right? It would have you kind of think, what really was this alleged $1 million payment for, right? That was allegedly provided by Zip. Now, for those who have been asking me in regards to my opinion with P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, whichever name you want to go by, being eventually tied up in this case, and I'm going to be honest, I personally don't feel like any charges will come about for many reasons. Case in point, at this point, the person that could put it on him is deceased, which would be the middleman who actually provided the money to Keefe D if any money was provided, right? Because again, you have to track the money back to the source. Now, if for some reason, they got some evidence where that money did kind of go from point A to point B, point C, and they can point it out, maybe. But at the same time, it's a lot of loose ends. Because again, if the $1 million was payment to kill Tupac Shakur, right? That means the shooting and the fight with Orlando doesn't have any connection to the money. I caught y'all with that one, ain't it? Because technically Tupac Shakur didn't die until 6 days later. Could it have been the payment was to finish the job? Because it makes sense, okay? My nephew is beat up real bad, big time gangster. We go, boom, immediately after. Now, I can't recall what interview it was. Keefe D has done so many interviews, but Keefe D stated that they went immediately to take care of the situation. They knew they would be going, Tupac and Suge Knight would be going to his club. They went, they didn't see him. They were leaving, and as they were leaving, they heard a lot of commotion from fans. It was like, boom, there they go, and then it occurred. So, with that being said, if a payment was done, right? Or maybe I could be wrong. I'm just guessing at this point. Just with my mind and what I know of Law and Order, If a payment was made to Keefe D Group to kill Tupac, does that mean something more was done in a hospital to actually kill Tupac? Or was it for the shooting? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Like I said, this is a conspiracy-driven case for sure. And it blows my mind even thinking about it, because everything is like, well, what if this? What if that? But I always question that since I heard this yesterday. Well, last night when I heard him say the $1 million payment, I'm like, well, was it for something that was done in the hospital? And then another thing, you know what's interesting? Tupac and Eazy died in the hospital too. I wonder if it was the same hospital. Somebody let me know in the comments. But that's my update for now. Like I said, the Biggie Smalls murder investigation breakdown, federal case will be coming soon. It's been taking me months. It's over like 500 pages. However, soon to come. With that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. And as always, go to MickeyTruth.com and get you that merch, because you know your girl stay with that work. And one thing. Let me leave y'all with this too. According to Biggie Smalls' federal investigation info, it is said that he was killed because he owed Southside Crips money for security. So, if a payment was made, could it have been to avoid anybody else being killed? Holla! You rappers ain't safe. No matter what you go through, do what you got to do and conquer the world.